trouble you guys with so much slides. It's just to present some statistics. Just like I mentioned, that is on the increase. In UK alone, we are having over 5.6 million people with diabetes, which is about 6% of the population. There are about 1.2 million people who are walking without realizing that they have got diabetes. So if you look at the prevalence of type 2 diabetes, it's much greater. About 90% of people with diabetes have got type 2 diabetes. And for this reason, something like World Health Organization are predicting by the year 2045, we are going to be experiencing 629 million people with diabetes. So it is something that we need to look at. Back home in Africa, most of the doctors over there, or healthcare professionals, they are not managing it as it should. There is no fault to them. It's mainly due to lack of resources. But with diabetes education, it starts with education. That is the cornerstone. If we are able to tell our family members, our friends, people that we associate with, what they need to look out, that will go a long way. So, just like I mentioned, I'm not going to go into all these slides. I'm sure majority know the signs of diabetes. Most of the people I meet will tell you, once they start having certain symptoms, they need to go to the doctors. When you're passing too much urine, all of a sudden, for no good reason, you're not drinking too much water, but you're passing too much urine. You're feeling very tired. Some people will say to you, I am tired. What is the reason for being tired? You need to look at that. A lot of people will have something like abscesses, boils on their skin for no good reason. Majority will have thrush. Okay? Some of the symptoms you need to look out for is knowing what to do at any given time. Places like UK, we are privileged where we can have that screening, healthcare screening. But back home, we are not that privileged to screen for things like diabetes. So if you know the signs and symptoms, it will help your family member. A lot of people will start losing weight for no good reason, and they think that's a good way. But you need to ask yourself, is it intentional weight loss? So you need to see the GP. So these are different types of diabetes. I'm sure we know about type 1. For people with type 1, they need insulin in order to survive. Type 2, you do not need insulin. However, during the journey of diabetes, the person may meet insulin. With type 1 diabetes, it usually happens with people when they're very young. While type 2, you can get it at any, years ago we used to say 40. But now people, even below 40, are getting type 2 diabetes. Even young adults, as young as 16, 18, are getting type 2 diabetes. So the main thing is knowing what to do and what to look out for. Those who are at risk of developing diabetes, first-degree family history. Now, all of us, majority of us, is sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle, depending on what you do, just like we have had this beautiful dinner, it is good, okay? But it's just saying to yourself, what do I do after eating? I always say to my patients, when you finish eating, move. Move around, even if it's for 10 minutes, so that you can burn that sugar. You can burn the calories as well. Having said that, it does not mean that everybody, who has got type 2 diabetes is because of sedentary lifestyle. There are people with endocrine problem as well, developing type 2 diabetes. management is to prevent complications associated with poor diabetes management. That is the aim. Prevent complications, maintain good quality of life, and make sure that we live longer with diabetes, no matter what. I remember a slogan by Diabetes UK, which says, diabetes is where we can live with diabetes, where no harm can be caused as a result of diabetes. And this means when you manage it better, when you know what to do, when you go to see your GPs, your healthcare professionals, just to make sure that you're properly screened. If you have diabetes, yes, there is no cure for it, but it can be managed, well controlled. That is the end. Looking at the dietary recommendations. Dietary recommendations is not just for people with diabetes, it's a diet for each and every one of us. Okay? If you look at our food, it's very rich in carbohydrate. It's not how often we eat. It's not the quantity we eat. It's not what is on the plate. Just like I mentioned, once you finish, do some walking around, burn that sugar. Our staple food is rice. And I must say to you guys, rice is a killer. In as much as we love it, but it's a killer. It depends on how often you eat it, the portion, and what you eat it with. Dietary recommendation says make sure you have some complex carbohydrate with each meal. Choose those ones that are low glycemic, that releases very slowly, release the sugar very slowly. Eat more fruit and veg. I'm sure each and every one of us are eating our 5 a day. Are we having our 5 a day? Yeah. Make sure you maintain your 5 a day. It's very important. Reduce animal or saturated fat. Our palm oil is good, especially when you eat it with roast yam. Okay? Our palm oil is good, but it's also a killer. We need to cut down. We are not saying do not eat it, but we just need to cut down. Reduce the amount you're using when you are making your soup. Reduce the amount. It's very important. Cut down on sugar and sugary food. I always advise people to look at the label. When you read the label, it helps you. Reading the label means you look at the packet of the food you're eating. If it's already made food, even if it's drink, so look at it.
Then no give bad name, but let me go. I beg, now every business we talk about now, yeah. Let them not come sabi, we say hello people there. They're not there more rights, they're not there everything. We don't eat. No, we keep quiet, small, yeah, with the beg. These are professionals there. People that they outside there, they benefit. Who not the way there, they benefit. We are. Like, important thing is woman they talk about, so we always suffer from there, and I beg that they do now. And they post again at social media.
Thank you very much. So look at the label, especially the one says of which are carbohydrates. That is the sugar content. Check whether you are happy to drink that. Okay? Something like Coke. I'm not saying I don't work for food companies. It's just because I know the content. That kind of Coke contains about 12 cubes of sugar. So when you're drinking, think, do I really want to drink 2 or do I really want to drink 1 can? So that is important. It says reduce salt intake. Salt intake. We do eat a lot of salt. Okay? We do eat a lot of salt. Reduce, cut down. It's not just, our generation, but my mother's generation, because I remember my mom used to cook with a lot of salt, and I grew up eating salt. And when I look at the requirements we need for the day, it's appalling. So, cut your salt intake. It's very important. Eat more oily fish. Thank you very much. think we did get some today. So eat more oily fish. Keep alcohol in moderation. It did not say do not drink, but keep it in moderation. So it is very important. Some of these are sources of carbohydrate, which I have got some of the pictures here. But we have our yam, we eat rice, we have our fufu, we have our gari, we have kente. So we have quite a lot. Our food is rich in carbohydrate. We can always pick and choose. But the question today, or take-home message, is cut down your portion. Just reduce your portion. Eat more of the soup than the carbohydrate itself. And when you finish eating, walk around, move around. It's very important. So I'm not going to take so much of your time. I am happy for anybody who wants to ask any question. Otherwise, the whole slide that I prepared, I will send it to the president, and she can forward it to anybody who needs it.
Thank you so much. That was an amazing presentation. Okay. Shall I say the word again? I don't go study in that corner yonder, so. Diabetes. But I don't know if I'm in the Dutch one I'm going to say. I think I'm going to talk about Dutch. Diabetes, cycle, whatever, you know, cycle, Victor. But you know, I go to train them. Till next year, will come. I promise you now, I go down Sabe and good one. How about that, okay? All right. Let's give a big round of applause again for Madam Rose. Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am kindly asking you, are they big una? Do you are big? We next speak away they come. As you say, most of the women, you see, I'm not even talk English, not Creole they talk. Most of the one they waiting here today, now woman them. And I'm so grateful that the man they accompanied me as well, because of the fact that we are nothing without them. But the topic we can talk about today, it's so ravaging in our community. This person today, they can talk about something which is so important to we all. When I can watch them show their own, they see people then they present all man quiet. Why make we not able for them to be quiet? We go try? No try, because I mean we're able to do and we all, trust me. We all are professionals, we are highly educated people, we are people that were disciplined. So for a minute, now we just try, now we listen to this particular person. But before I go ahead, let me introduce this person, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, when I feel say me alcoholates them beaucoup, well, when I come into that will pass me on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my beautiful sister, our second speaker, who is an academic graduate from various universities, including Oxford University, with a BSc honors in biological science, adult nursing, infectious disease teaching and learning for healthcare professionals and women in leadership. Professionally, she is a specialist nurse in cancer and palliative care. Currently a director of patient services at a local hospice in London. Outside of her professionalism, she is an immensely honest, a great socialite, a charismatic, an amazing wife, biological mother of two, but mother of a mentor to many. She is a health and well-being advocate, an ambassador who tackles and champions health issues in communities both locally and nationwide. A CEO and founder of the Health Show Partnership Program, an organization that supports people diagnosed with cancer both in the diaspora and Sierra Leone. Recently completed a refurbishment project of a ward at Connaught Hospital for cancer patients. Also hosts their own health show live via wide web and social media. She's an MC as well as a teacher and gives lectures, talks on cancer and general health issues. A first point of contact for people facing different forms of health adversities and bereavement support, and an all-around health professional and counselor in the community, cutting across from the homeless through to the creme de la creme. Was quite active during the COVID-19 pandemic, supporting the local community in the diaspora by providing basic essential hot meals, education, and social support for over 150 households. She's the tireless and driven by and at all costs. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. Welcome our second speaker of tonight's program, Madam Aissata Sisi. Give a big round of applause to her.
Thank you very much, my sister Sllwa. Good evening, everyone. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to Sllwa for bestowing me with the honors of being here this evening, and to congratulate them for turning 5 years today. Hello? Thank you. I am going to talk about something that nobody likes to talk about. And that's why I like to talk about it. Because it is not a myth, it is reality. Reality that each and every one of us here might either experience, whether it's directly or through someone we know. So it's important we listen and get a bit of understanding. As the last speaker said, we are very opportuned to be in this part of the world where healthcare is technically free and we have options. But we have to take the time and effort to seek knowledge, understand, so that we can recognize when things are going wrong, so that we can make informed decisions. The excuses of saying, oh, I went to my GP is not serious, that doctor knows I'm being woke, they lie for me, they misdiagnose me. It is all incorrect. Did you pay attention? Did you tell the doctor what was really wrong with you? Did you express yourself properly? Did you take in the information that was given to you so that you can make informed decisions? It all starts from listening. When you listen, you can absorb the right information. And then you have the opportunity to reflect and make the best decision. So ladies and gentlemen, we're not really here to talk at you. We're here to share knowledge. Knowledge that we've worked very hard for, studied many, many years, sleepless nights, tears, challenges. It is not an easy thing to be an advanced practitioner of diabetes. Diabetes is a very serious illness, one of the top killers in our community. But it's very disappointing when someone astute, as Lady Grace was talking, and we were not listening. We did not pay attention. So please, I'm begging, I'm pleading, not for anyone's sake, not for my sake, but for your sake. I already have the information. I know what to do. It's for our sake, all of us. So please, let's listen. And on that note, I'm going to make my session interactive to keep you interested. I'm going to tell you a basic. Right. So cancer. was shot at you? Who thinks cancer was given to you by your stepmother? Thank you. That's good progress. So cancer comes from the cells that we have in our body. As long as you're a human being, or an animal for that matter, because even cats and dogs, rabbits, mouse, they all also do get cancer. It is basically when the cell goes wrong. All of our cells, which is what we're made of, divide. Scientifically, it's called mitosis. They divide, and that's how we grow. You grow from being a one-day-old baby to a little child, a toddler, a young teenager, young adult, and an elderly. That's because our cells grow and multiply. And then eventually they start declining, which is what we consider old age. Some do in some parts of your body faster than other parts of your body. Now, what goes wrong with cancer is they divide when they want to divide, not as they should. So if I give an example, let's say your eyes, if the cells in your eyes are supposed to divide every 24 hours, when things go wrong in those cells, they start dividing every 4 hours. And that is what we call uncontrolled division. And as they continue to divide, that little space that was meant and created for them to be divided every 24 hours becomes limited. And that is what turns into cancer. So this is October. October is the month of International Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's the pink month. It's also the month we consider Stoptober. It's an opportunity for you to stop some of the bad habits. And it could be something as simple as stop taking sugar, or stop taking 3 spoons of sugar instead of 2 spoons. Stop smoking, stop drinking alcohol, or minimize the amount of alcohol you drink. It's little drops, little steps, baby steps. When you've developed a bad habit, it's difficult to just stop it all at once. You start little by little. So basically, we are going to talk about breast cancer, because this is the month of breast cancer. Breast cancer starts from the breast tissue. Who gets breast cancer? Do men have breast cancer? Thank you. I didn't hear the men say yes. It's the women that said yes. Gentlemen, do men get breast cancer? Yes. Thank you. Because every human being has breasts. And breast cancer comes from the tissues of the breast. But for us, the most important thing we need to look out for is the symptoms. For those who've listened to one of my talks, I always say to people, know your body. When you know what's normal for you, it's easy to identify what's abnormal. Because what might be normal for me might not be normal for the next person. So it's important to know your body. Anything that you see different from your breast, these 2 sisters, these friends, these boobies, check it out. And it might not necessarily be breast cancer. It might be something as simple as just a boil or a cyst, but it's important to check it. So, as I mentioned earlier on, mine is going to be interactive. I'm not going to feed you all the information. I want you to ask me. For the sake of time, we're going to take only 5 questions. If you want to ask a question, please raise your hand. I'll bring the mic to your table. Who's going to ask the first question? Yes, sir.
I'm just concerned about the breast cancer related to men. Because that's the other thing. Because some man, how did that feel while we check? I'm not able to say. So what's our breast cancer?
Did everyone hear that? Okay. My man, sir, the gentleman here on my left, said he's very curious to know how could men have breast cancer, because as far as he's concerned, there's nothing there. So how come? Does anyone have the answer? Okay, hello. Right. Gentlemen, do you have nipples? Yes? So that means you have a breast. The difference between men and women, talking about the cells, as I mentioned earlier on, men are genetically programmed for their breast tissues to multiply less than women. And even with women, some women are very voluptuous, some are not. So it's all related to your genes. So yes, men, as much as you have a flat chest, some men, but actually there's some men who have more female estrogen. You can actually see them have bobby. Not also man boobs, they can call a man bobby. So men do have breasts. Okay? There's a very interesting table here, this Jane Lance and Barry table. I'm hoping that the next question comes from them. Yes? Thank you.
Thank you for this. I just want to know, do you think or can breast augmentation or enlargement increase the risk of having breast cancer?
I would say anecdotally, and the reason why I say anecdotally in science means there hasn't been enough research to confirm it. But I would say anecdotally, yes. And the reason for that is disruption. You see, whether you're someone who believes in God or how we were created, or whether you're a Scientologist or anything, the human body was created with the greatest thoughts and thinking. And everything is programmed as it should. I always say to people, think of the traffic lights. You have red, amber, and green. And no matter how busy that traffic area is, it is very well programmed that some people will stop when it turns red, and some people will go when it turns green, and some people will prepare to stop or go when it's at amber, right? Now, if you're a driver, even if you've been a passenger, you've experienced somehow, somewhere, where the traffic lights start malfunctioning. It creates a lot of disruption, right? And I think that's how the human body is. Breast augmentation or enlargement requires surgery. Surgery is one of the most serious interventions you can put the body through. And that is why in this part of the world, surgery is very much thought of before it's offered to you. So for every time you cut and open, you're disrupting, you're moving things around, you're provoking things. So anecdotally, yes, it is a contributing factor. That's what I think. Yes.
Good evening. So, I'm a man of many women, and I say that because I have many sisters. I have a daughter. So to me, talking about breast cancer is a very sensitive subject for me. My question to you is there any indication of women who can be high risk? Because, you know, back at home in Sierra Leone, you see some people that can take money, they put on them grab, and they brazier. Some people that carry their phone and they brazier. Foreign objects you put it close to your breast. Does that make you high risk? Or does that lessen risk? Or is it genetic? Are there any indicators that could put a woman at high risk of breast cancer?
Thank you. So, there are several factors. Hello? There are several factors that can contribute to you being at higher risk or not. One is through genetics, hereditary. So if you come from a family where cancer has been prevalent, you have to be mindful. You have to be a bit more vigilant, especially hormonal cancers, cancers that are related to the reproductive system, i.e. your breast, your ovary, your uterus, your prostate. All those cancers can be hereditary. It means you can pick it up because your grandma had it, or because your dad or your mother had it, and so on. So if you know your family history, which is why when you go to doctors in this country, the first thing when they consult you, they say, is your mom alive? Is your dad alive? Do they have this? Do they have that? And you're wondering, why are they being so nosy? No, it's connecting the dots. So that is one contributing factor. For women, it's got to do with age as well. Women who are post-menopausal are at higher risk. Basically, people who've stopped seeing their period, their menstruation, are at higher risk. However, because there's so many types of breast cancer, now, with some of the environmental factors which you've just mentioned, like radiation, our phones carry some form of radiation, which is why people think when you put it in your bra, it might. Yes, there's contributing factors, but we're exposed to radiation all the time. You have to be mindful. So those sorts of things are contributing factors, which is why we're now seeing younger women, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it was you have to be at least in your late 30s to be diagnosed of breast cancer. Now we're seeing 18, 19, 20-year-old. It's environmental factors. The food we eat, our lifestyle, and so on and so forth. Stress. As I stress it, which is why we're going to hurry up so that we can dance and release some stress and burn some calories and sugar. So that is that okay? 2 more questions. Okay.
Thank you very much for this wonderful talk. My question is around something that happened in the UK many years ago. And that is the fact that a lot of young girls in high schools were given the opportunity to be vaccinated. I think a lot of Africans kick against it. They don't want their children to be vaccinated for something they're not sure of. But how do you see that as a professional? What's your stand? What's your take on it? Thank you.
My stand with vaccinations, and you're talking about the cervical cancer vaccination. And my stance on that is, I've got 2 children, a 21-year-old and a 16-year-old, and there's not one immunization that they require that they haven't got. And in fact, for me, I go above and beyond. In this country, they don't give children hepatitis B, except if you're a professional. My children, I pay for them to have hepatitis B. I pay for them to have rabies. I pay for them because I travel a lot with them. So I try to protect them a lot. Vaccinations do not give cancer. Vaccinations try to protect you. And the reason why they're giving children vaccination, hello? 20 years ago, children might not start thinking about sex until they are 16, 18. Nowadays, children are having sex at 10. And because of that, they are at risk of sexually transmitted infections, and sexually transmitted infections such as chlamydia or the papilloma virus causes cervical cancer or uterine cancer. That is the reason why they're pushing for these vaccinations. It's to protect them. Thank you. Last final question. Sorry, I'm gonna go there because that table has had an opportunity. Sorry.
Just interested in men's breast cancer. Because I don't know anybody who's a man that has had breast cancer, or in the news, I've never heard it said somebody has got breast cancer and it's crazy, but for women. So how common is it? And I've got 2 questions. How common it is?
It's very rare. Very, very rare. In my 20 plus years of cancer care, I've only seen it twice. It's very rare. But again, it's there, it's present, so it's important for us to know ourselves. That is what I need to leave with you this evening. This is just a teaser. I do yearly programs. Next Saturday, we're going to walk a mile from Peckham Rye at 10 o'clock. We walk, we jog, we run, all the way to Borges Park. If you've got health problems and you cannot walk, jog, or run, you can meet us at Borges Park. But if you want to walk with us, start at 10 at Peckham Rye. It's all about raising awareness. By the Tesco's, where the road splits into 2. So please, let us know ourselves. Know you body. And that's at the left giving today. Thank you very much.
you, Madam Aissata Sise-Jallow. Can we all give a big hand of applause for that? I'm sure we all living here tonight with knowledge. The knowledge that will last us a lifetime and that will pass on also to our children, our friends, and family. But you know, we've taken so much, you know, the health thing. I think it's about time we, a little, or not. We're not even gonna do no other segment right now. We're just gonna dance, 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 dance. DJ, music, first and foremost. First and foremost, see, I told you we're going to dance. You think I was joking? The Lewisham nurses, they are the ones that are going to open the floor for us. And afterwards, are you still buying your raffle tickets? Raffle tickets done. Clap for yourself. Clap for yourself. That's the spirit. Lewisham ladies, time is of essence. We need each and every one of you before the DJ starts to do what Shokinda does best. Sllwa ladies. Sllwa ladies, can you all please make your way to the entrance, please? Sllwa ladies, let's put a tempo on it. Sllwa ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to allow them to have the floor. And when they are right here, they're going to dance it out. And then later, family and friends, you can join them. Do we all agree with that? I can't hear you. Do we all agree with that? Okay, great. So I know you will enjoy watching them dance, and later we'll come on stage and support them, and the party will start. But we're going to interrupt you in between because we got the raffle to go, just to get you all aware of that. So Mr. DJ, it's all yours, the Sllwa ladies. The DJ don't run away. Oh, okay. DJ Shokinda, do what you do best. Sllwa ladies in the house. Here we go! Hello, hello. Sllwa ladies, don't go nowhere. Who in this audience have a sister here, have a wife here, have a friend here in the audience? I want to see you all make it on stage and support them. DJ, music. DJ. 1 minute, 1 minute. Super! Picture, photo. Thank you.